I'm going to pass the chair to Councillor Perks and start my time as well. I'm going to move as a courtesy to Councillor Shiner a motion that you could just put on screen that the general manager be directed to repaint Jarvis Street to a 4-lane roadway with the center lane being a left turn lane only where left turn lanes are permitted for a 6-month trial and report the results to the Public Works and Infrastructure Committee. I won't support that motion, but as a procedure, I take carriage of any motion that guests could give us, so I want to put that on to the table. I am going to support the recommendations of Councillor Kyle and I guess Councillor Perks. Councillor Ray, reluctantly, because I don't think it goes far enough. We have 5 lanes, and we're taking away 1 lane. I think we should be taking away 2 lanes. We should be taking away 2 lanes so that everybody shares the road. Right now, if you look at the status quo, what do we have? If you have a vehicle, which is a car, and I have a car, I love cars, I own an '89 Honda, I love cars. I love people who drive cars. But when you look at the right-of-way, what's it supposed to be? Jarvis is supposed to help all of us get from A to B. Many of us to get from home, to get to work, and back, or shopping, or whatever you want to do. But the status quo today is cars have a dedicated space on Jarvis. That's great if you own a car and if you're using a car. Fabulous, and I support that. I love cars. If you're a pedestrian today, you have a place on Jarvis. There's a sidewalk. It's your dedicated space. May not be perfect, could be improved. Maybe there's even a cyclist or 2 zooming up that sidewalk, which shouldn't be allowed. But you have a dedicated space so that when you go to work or you go home or you go to school, you've got a dedicated space to keep you safe. Cars have a place to keep themselves safe. People, pedestrians have a place to keep themselves safe. What about bikes? Bikes have no dedicated space along Jarvis. What they allow a cyclist to do is share a lane with cement trucks and dump trucks and Coca-Cola trucks and SUVs and smart cars and hybrids and taxis and everything else that goes zooming up and down Jarvis at 30 or 40 or 60 kilometers an hour. There is no dedicated space for bikes. And I would ask my neighbors who live in the city of Toronto to be generous enough to share your road with me so that I can get to work just like you as safely as humanly possible. I don't think that's too much to ask. So I certainly support sharing of this roadway. That's what we're supposed to do with them. People here have talked about congestion. There are concerns about congestion, and if you take away a lane, what's going to happen about the congestion? Well, folks, we have to remind ourselves, people don't cause congestion. Cars cause congestion. If you want less congestion, get out of your car. Plain and simple. I live at McCowan and Eglinton. I cycle here virtually every day. Takes me an hour. You know what? And I love it. I've had people come up and say, I live at Bloor and whatever. I'm like, wow, that's 15 minutes from your home to your downtown office. Now, some people are going down to the Gardner and going out to Oakville. I would probably drive there too myself. But if you're coming to the downtown core, which a lot of people have said they are, get out of your car. Congestion, if you want to get rid of congestion, take 2,000 cars off the road and you're going to have less congestion. So when people say to me, I don't support this, because it's going to cause congestion, I'm going to say, fine. Are you willing to get out of your car to help get rid of congestion? Maybe not so willing to get out of my car, but I certainly want less congestion. Therefore, I don't want the cyclist to have a bike lane. Not acceptable to me as a cyclist. There was a couple people talked about CO2 emissions. They're concerned about CO2 emissions. May go up because there'll be more congestion. Again, folks, I try to practice what I preach. I'm not perfect. I'm a human being. But you know what? I think I mentioned it. I ride my bike here almost every single day, year-round, from Scarborough, 23 kilometers each way. People living 10 kilometers or 20 kilometers should be, some of them, be able to do the same thing. If you're really, truly concerned about CO2 emissions, and you've come here and said to me, my biggest concern is CO2 emissions, my advice to you is very simple. Get out of your car. That's how you reduce CO2 emissions. There's also been people have come here today saying, I have a fear. I don't know about the past, but the future, I have a fear of traffic congestion. Well, you know what, folks? Dundas Street was narrowed from 4 lanes down to 2 lanes. And guess what? People from Pickering still come to the City of Toronto. People from Scarborough still come to the City of Toronto along Dundas.
Mr. Chair.
And we reduce the lanes. I'd
Your
ask
time.
for an extension of my time to finish my comments.
Recorded vote. I've had a request for a recorded vote. All in favor? All in favor of extending Councillor's time? All opposed? Sorry, that doesn't carry. Your time is
Mr.
over.
Chair, as always, I accept the will of committee. I will take back the chair then from my vice chair and put the motions forward and not finish my speech. Madam Clerk, could I have the motions? I think there's a first motion is deferral. Sorry, I think I'll ask the clerk, but I think the order of the motions, deferral motions always come first. Is that correct, Madam Clerk? Okay.
This motion defers as to my deferral.
No, deferral is a standalone motion. So all those in favor, I'm going to take these two, segregate them for you, Councillor Lee. All those in favor of motion number 1 by Councillor Lee, all those in favor? Opposed? That motion is defeated. All those in favor of motion number 2 by Councillor Lee, all those in favor? Opposed? That motion is defeated. The next motion, which I took carriage of on behalf of Councillor Shiner. Oh, sorry. Okay, this is on okay. Well, it went from my name to Councillor Lee's name. Motion number 3, all those in favor? Opposed? That motion is defeated. I believe, Madam Clerk, next motion is Councillor Ray's motion. Yeah, Councillor Perks' motion on behalf. Yep.
Can I have that recorded, please, Mr. Chair?
A recorded vote on this motion. I think we can accept this as read. It was read by Councillor Ray before. So this is a recorded vote. All the members in favor of this motion. Councillor Carroll, Councillor Giambroni, Councillor Perks, Councillor DeBaeremaeker, Councillor Palacio in favor. Sorry, and Councillor Lee, are you in favor? Yes. Yes, okay, great. So that's noted as unanimous of the members present. I think, Madam Clerk, that is our last item.
Item is amended.
I don't know, Madam Clerk. Okay, as amended. Yep. Okay, done. Yep. Motion to
I'd like to move it as amended. The item is amended.
Recorded vote.
Okay. Item as amended. The recorded vote.
Recorded
All those
vote.
in favor? It's the same
All
as
those
the
in
last
favor?
one.
Item is,
Oh, sorry, members.
item
of
is
commi-
amended. Cesar?
As amended. Okay, sorry. All those in favor, Councillor Carroll, Giambroni, Perks, DeBaeremaeker. All those opposed, Councillor Lee and Councillor Palacio. This is a recorded vote. We need to know yes or no for the clerk. It's the motion as amended.
The item is amended.
The item is. So yes. Okay. Okay, great.